There was a boy named Arav. He had heard stories about the old abandoned school at the edge of his village, a place that had been shut down 20 years ago after something terrible happened inside. They said you could still hear screams at night. Arav loved thrill and challenges. One night, to prove he wasn't scared, he decided to enter the school alone. The night was thick with darkness, and every sound seemed sharper. Arav stepped inside the broken main door, the flashlight trembling slightly in his hand. Dust floated in the air, and every piece of broken furniture seemed like it was staring at him. The hallway stretched endlessly, walls cracked and covered in deep scratch marks. As he moved forward, his light fell on an old blackboard. Something was faintly written there. When he moved closer, he saw it clearly. "Run while you can." He smiled nervously, thinking maybe someone had written it long ago. But then a cold gust of air brushed past him, whispering something he couldn't understand. His heart began to pound. Suddenly he heard a faint giggle, a child's laughter, soft and chilling. He spun around, but there was no one there. The hallway felt like it was closing in around him. And then he heard the old school bell ring, the bell that hadn't rung in 20 years. Ignoring every instinct screaming inside him, Arav kept walking. He found the staff room door slightly open, creaking with each movement of the wind. Shining his light inside, he saw an empty room. But just for a second, it felt like someone was writing on the blackboard. He blinked and looked again. No one was there, but fresh words had appeared. "Welcome back." His throat went dry. He turned around to run, but the hallways were not the same anymore. They twisted and shifted like the school itself was alive. Doors slammed shut one after another, trapping him. A classroom door at the end of the hall slowly creaked open. A faint light spilled out. Inside stood a little girl in a torn white dress, her face hidden behind long, messy hair. Arav tried to scream, but no sound came out. The girl raised her hand and motioned him to come closer. Arav couldn't move. His legs were frozen. When she stepped forward into the light, he saw her face. Empty, hollow eye sockets stared back at him, like deep black holes. Arav snapped out of his fear and turned to run. The hallway seemed endless now, stretching longer the more he ran. Shadows chased behind him, fast, angry footsteps growing louder and louder. He finally reached the entrance door, but outside was no longer the real world. There was only darkness, endless, swallowing darkness. And then, a whisper in his ear. "Who told you you could leave?" Everything faded into black. The next morning, villagers found Arav lying unconscious near the school gate. His eyes were wide open, but he wouldn't speak. He just kept repeating the same words again and again. "I don't want to go back. I don't want to go back."